Thank you for joining us here on KEXP, where the music matters. You can find us at 90.3 FM in Seattle, streaming worldwide at kexp.org, and we're also streaming 24/7 on our free mobile apps. I'm down here in the KEXP studios with an iconic band, been making music for decades, and we are so honored to have them back here in the KEXP studios. It's Earth. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to talk with you, but why don't you do what we know you do absolutely incredibly, is play us some music. It's Earth live on KEXP.
Good day.
I can't carry anymore.
Greetings.
Good day. You have found the book. It should give all of us here some insight into the nature.
Now that fewer of the Iron Wolves are needed to guard the dark side, some of them have volunteered to accompany.
can't.
Thank you for having me.
And were you sharing some new songs with us here today?
Yes, the first three were new. The first one is called Scalp Hunter's Blues. The second one is an improvisation based on a riff by John Corabi and Motley Crue called Misunderstood. And the third one is called California
I can't
and
carry
Other
anymore.
Impossible Dreams.
I love it. Thank you for The Bees Made Honey and the Lion's Skull, one of my favorite of your many
That was our
records.
shortest version ever.
I think that one single song from Earth is longer than all four of those songs. So thank you for that very special KEXP edition of an Earth set.
The radio edit edition.
Yeah,
Yes.
give a new meaning to radio edit there. I think I may
You
have
have
seen
found
Earth more than
Kaleem's
any
heart,
other local
and
band. You have a
greetings.
long and such a wonderful history. And Dylan, I know that Earth was born out of experimentation and a very strong but pliable vision of what you wanted your music to sound like. And you started with a really unique concept, which was ambient metal.
Yeah.
And playing these epically long tracks of droning, at the time, bass and guitar, which has evolved over many decades. Can you talk about what it was you were wanting to do with Earth way back then?
I guess it's sort of like, my one good idea, and I've been running with it ever since. I don't know, I've always loved, I mean, all music is repetitious, but it's always like fast. And then like, you know, at that time, bands were trying to be as fast as possible. And then, you know, I was fortunate enough to, you know, experience the Melvins and watch them go from being really fast to really slow. And then, I mean, a lot of the music I liked was slow, you know, and then, I mean, it was just a weird combination because I was like into what I guess they'd call classic rock now, but then also like metal, like Slayer, and then I was also super into like, King Crimson. So it was and Rush. Like Rush, I got to give Rush some credit because like I love their stuff and like each of their stay on that one. But so yeah, I just was like, oh, what if I just stay on a riff for a long time?
Well, you make it sound so simple, but you are so creative from album to album. I mean, there have been so many different lineup changes over the years throughout the history of the band. Do you feel like the fact that you've been able to work with so many different musicians has helped the longevity of the band?
Definitely. I mean, I feel like, working with other great musicians like elevates and like they come up with stuff that I come up with, and then like I've never been like a control freak about music. Like it's like the interaction and like you know, I've always had like, a conceptual thing that I'm working from, or this concept, but then when people add their thing, it's better than I could have come up. It just, you know, I don't know, sum is greater than its parts kind of vibe or whatever, but it's just like they come up with stuff that you wouldn't see, and it makes it better, or in my opinion.
And it seems like you, as you said, are not a control freak. You let them do what they do best and see what they're going to add to it.
Yeah, no, it's funny. People are always like, oh, what do you want me to play? I'm like, I hired you because I like what you do, so just do what you do. It's kind of how I feel with, like, any interaction, like artists for covers and whatnot. Like, I'll have ideas, but then it's like, you do your thing because I like your thing, and it'll be a cool thing together.
Well, speaking of liking their thing, I'm such
Good
a fan
day.
of Adrian's drumming. You are so wonderful to listen to, but also so beautiful to watch. It's like you're dancing, and you've been playing together for a long time.
Yeah, over 20 years now.
It's more than a child. It's like a child in college.
Well, you
21, 22 years, something like that.
You met Dylan when you were a child, it
Yeah.
sounds like, and you talk about these early rehearsals that were just like 6-hour-long jam sessions
yeah,
that went
therapy.
till 7 in the morning.
Rock therapy sessions. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we met way back in the,
When I was 17.
back in the 90s, and then kind of lost track. Ran into each other again at a Actually, at a Mark Lanigan show. In
Everything's
like
Mark's fault.
2000,
Everything.
2021.
He's so lovely, all
Or
roads led to
2000,
Mark Lanigan.
2001.
Aw.
Well, your latest release is a soundtrack for the documentary Even Hell Has Its Heroes, which is absolutely fabulous, directed by Clive Pearson. Film, and it's screening at SIFF this week, I should add. And it's wild looking back at this lost Pacific Northwest in the film, both in places and the culture, and it has to be unrecognizable to the folks who came after in the tech boom, I have to say, but the film is such a love letter to the Pacific Northwest and all its people. Tell me about how it came to be.
Well, it's all Clyde. Like,
Yeah, Clyde like
had the
captured
idea.
Seattle
Clyde did all the
pre-tech
work.
bros.
we just showed up for some interviews, and then Clyde hit the road with us a couple times, and then
He had a really clear idea of what he wanted to do.
Yeah, I mean,
and like,
Clyde is, you know, one of the best, most creative people I've ever. I'm grateful to have known Clyde for so long. Clyde managed us at one point, and then I had this idea for a movie, and I knew it would be great. And then I love that it's like I like that it's not just like one. Like there's so many people involved that have been planned over the years instead of this like, you know, there's not this one narrative just like, you know, like. So I think it's cool that all these people that are involved got to do stuff and got interviewed and.
It's definitely a who's who of musicians and producers. I was fanning out, and actually feeling really touched at how long I've known a lot of those people. It seems like all roads, I mean, you're the nucleus, but all roads seem to lead to Randall Dunn, who
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of and got the good fortune to meet in the mid-90s.
Yeah. Did a lot of records with him.
I can't carry anymore.
Or I guess the aughts and the.
possibly more with Mel.
This is live on KEXP. I'm your host, Eva Walker, and we are in the live room. And these in-studio sessions are made possible by your donations. So please visit kexp.org/live and consider giving a gift. We are on 24/7. And we are streaming worldwide at kexp.org and on the radio dial here in Seattle, Washington, 90.3 FM. So excited because Rose City Band is here. Thank you for being here. They're going to play some songs, and then we'll chat.
Great.
Let's do it. KEXP with Rose City Band. Nice. 90.3 FM here in Seattle, Washington, streaming worldwide at KEXP.org. You are listening to Live on KEXP, a session with Rose City Band.
can hardly see the sun. Feel for the living soul. Lying on the other. It will soon go. It is daylight.
Good to see you.
This is live on KEXP. I'm your host, Eva Walker, and you just heard music from Portland, Oregon band, Rose City Band. Wow, that was fantastic.
Thank you.
Yowzas. Ripley. Hey, I have a name. Ripley Johnston.
Well, it's in the game, so.
Oh, is it? Okay. It's great. You have a really great band. Would you like to introduce your band?
I would, if everyone would pick up their mics, that would be great. Paul Hassenberg on the keyboards.
Hi.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Barry Walker on the steel guitar.
Thank you.
Dewey Mahood on the bass guitar.
Hey, folks.
Dustin Dibvig on the drums.
Oh, hello, hello.
Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. Again, that was amazing. And that last song you played, I know is off of your garden party. And I want to ask about that because one of the descriptions that you had for the songs on this album was porch music. And after listening to that last song, I was like, that's like a porch on the moon, which I dig, by the way. But can you further kind of go into that porch music?
Porch music, yeah. I don't know where I came up with that. I just spend a lot of time sitting on my porch in Portland, so that's where I listen to music a lot. And that's where I play my guitar, just sort of watch the birds and watch people walking by on the street. So it's just kind of a lovely time for me. And that's like sort of the epitome of Portland summer for me. Other than like hiking and going for swims in the river and stuff like that. But just sitting on the porch is just so lovely and trying to sort of express that sort of peaceful feeling in the music.
Yeah, I really like that description. Porches are very nostalgic for myself.
Good, yeah.
How did you land on Garden Party, the title of the album? Why is that an important title?
I don't know how important it is, but I think I like the idea of social music. You know, I'm a big fan of Harry Smith's anthology of American folk music. Social music. And I'm a big fan of the entertainment aspect of music. I use music for certain things, like I have my bath music and I have my morning coffee music. Garden party is more like sort of celebratory, but also I just spend a lot of time in my garden. So,
yeah.
It's sort of like it's a nod to like. Obviously, we're not having like an English garden party, in my house, but I think we all spend lots of time in nature, everyone in the band. So, just trying to get across that kind of feeling.
Ripley, we're going to have to exchange records sometime.
You got to tune to the Midday Show here on 90.3 KEXP. My name's Evie, and I am so excited to be joined in our live room today with Crumb. They're known for their super unique mix of indie pop with jazz and psychedelia, and we're going to hear some tracks today from their latest record, Ice Melt, plus one song from their debut album, Jinx. So if you all are ready, feel free to take it away.
Ah!
please.
Mephisto. You were no match for me.
Good to see you again. There's a dark, tortured soul who was trapped. Stay a while and listen.
incredible, you guys. That was awesome.
Thank you so much.
So I want you to know, first of all, that I am so grateful that I get to host this session, that I am a Crumb stan, and you sound great. So thanks for being here with us.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and you guys came here specifically for this performance, correctly? Or correctly?
Very
That's
correct.
correctly, right?
That is correct.
So just specifically for this performance, right?
Yeah,
You gonna
for you
spend,
guys.
You gonna spend any time in Seattle?
We flew in, I guess, Tuesday, and we've had like we had a nice day yesterday. Got to see the city a little bit.
You got to see some rain?
We got to see some.
No, it was actually a nice day yesterday. I was
Yeah.
surprised.
It's all relative. We got some New York weather we're used to. So
Yeah, true.
we enjoy your food and your views.
Yeah.
I've been hanging out here for a few weeks. It's been
Good. I'm glad. Well, I would love if you would introduce yourselves, or whoever you'd like to do it.
We have Bree on the keys. We got Jesse on the bass. And we got Jonathan on the drums.
and Leela over here.
And I'm Leela.
On the rest.
So I associate your band with a lot of different locations. Like you formed in Massachusetts, correct? And recorded your debut full length in Brooklyn, and then this most recent album that you put out was recorded in Los Angeles. So I just want to know, like, how did the West Coast, this new location, kind of seep into the inspiration for this record, if you think that it did?
Well, we recorded it during the pandemic in LA, obviously. Had a lot of free time to think about it. We actually stopped recording like midway through, and we're just kind of like just in our little but it allowed us to kind of reflect on what we had recorded and then go back into the studio and kind of finish the tracks. But yeah, a lot of the songs were written in LA as well.
Yeah.
I don't know what specifically, but definitely there's like an LA feeling.
I hear it. What part of LA were you guys staying and living in?
All around, really.
Yeah.
Me, like 4 different Airbnbs. Leela was living in a house.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just like such a different pace than when we recorded the New York one. New York, we would walk out the studio and just be surrounded by a lot of noise and people. And LA, we just empty parking lot and sunshine. So it was nice.
Yeah. Some swaying palm trees.
Exactly.
And it's funny. I feel like LA has this vibe of like it can feel so calm and serene, but also kind of crazy, like underneath. You know?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I lived there for a few years. It's a fun place. So the title of this record, Ice Melt, kind of makes me think of someplace cold, like somewhere you really need to salt your walkway, which isn't LA. So what drew you to that title?
The title actually originated with the substance Ice Melt, which I didn't know was called Ice Melt for the longest time. And then I found out. And I mean, it speaks to the album, I feel like, in a couple ways of kind of like melting away your, demons, you could say. But I feel like it's really whatever you want it to mean.
Those are the best kind of titles, I think, yeah. So it sounds like Electrovox and Sonora Studios were some of the biggest studios that you've had the chance to work in. How did that environment and freedom sort of impact the sound of the record? If it did.
I think we just had so much variety of, like each of us had so much variety of instruments and sounds that we could experiment with different recording techniques, different sounds, and we had the time for it too. So I think it's just like a huge expansion, more space, more instruments, more time.
Cool.
Yeah, felt like a big living room.
Yeah.
Yes?
I like living rooms. So I have to touch on this. It sounds like you experiment with some really unique techniques in the studio, and I read about you capturing an underwater effect where you submerged a microphone that was wrapped in a condom, like in a bucket of water. So congrats on that. Who comes up with the ideas for that? Like whose idea was that one? Or?
We can blame, we can definitely blame Jonathan Rado and Michael Harris for those wonderful ideas. But it was it was fun. I feel like there was like one idea to chase like that, maybe like once a day, that kept us really like on our toes.
Right.
And that studio, like Sonora in particular, is like our producer friend Rado's.
Thank you for joining us live here in the KEXP studios. I'm Cheryl Waters, and we are so grateful to have you joining us here. If you'd like to find out more about KEXP, we're streaming live at 90.3 FM and at kexp.org. Also on our free mobile apps, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Find out more about great live music discovery here at KEXP. And we've got a band in studio here that we have loved for a very, very long time. A brand new album called Lucha. We're so excited to welcome Ila Bamba live to the KEXP studios today. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having us.
You look incredible. I heard a little bit of the sound check, so I know you sound great. So without further ado, it's Ila Bamba live on KEXP.
ritmo ancestral que se puede ver. Entre todo lo bello y de la primavera cuando todo empieza a florecer. Niñera antigua huyendo de la vida soy flor, salvaje raíz de mi ser. Entre todo lo bello y de la primavera cuando todo empieza a florecer. Niñera antigua huyendo de la vida soy flor, salvaje raíz de mi ser. Ta-ra-ta, 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 tanto tiempo sin hablar contigo, sin saber de tu bienestar. Sueño de una manera cuando andabas conmigo. Háblame de dos diferencias que nos separan, aunque duela y encontrarás que en los brazos hay otro, no hay cara. Se ven como se ven, se ven como se ven. Tu manera de ser, no me falta para qué. Y tu manera de ser, no me falta para qué perder el tiempo. Ya ves cuando las cosas no se dicen, se ven como se ven, se ven como se ven. Ya ves cuando las cosas no se dicen, se ven como se ven, se ven como se van.
Good to see you.
Se ven como se van, se ven como se ven. Ta 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 ta. Ta ra 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 ra. Ta ra. Soy estas palabras me dejan llevar. Se ven como se van. Durante el mediodía, el sueño me encuentra vacío. Me dejó regret in the silence. Hear my heart beat. See it come. My brothers have escaped. Sure is something out of this world.
I can't carry it.
All I know is stay true to my heart. Something's can't be held on your mind. Talking about.
I need mama. Don't forget, you will find, won't regret. In the silence, hear my heart, see it come. Sure is something out of this world. Not enough mana.
You're listening to Ila Bamba live here in the KEXP studios. That sounded amazing. Thank you all so much. It's so great to have you here.
Thank you. I'm like, who are you talking to?
Talking to all
My
of you.
ears are all like messed up.
Oh.
It's been a while since I've been here last. Last time I was here 2017. That's very interesting. You know, this time your time travel all of a sudden. Right?
You were kind enough to do a live on KEXP at home session for us back in 2021, and it was such strange times. Everyone in the band except for you and Isabel and Primo had masks on, and
Yeah, Primo's all like, what is going on?
Yeah.
That was like the third day that I had, I think third day I've had that dog. And I'm like, here, welcome to my life.
is he still rolling with you?
Yeah, he's still rolling with me. He's being watched right now. And all of this
We're
mama
very-
stuff.
We're very dog friendly here. We wish you had him with you.
Oh, he would be quite the hoot.
Well, you have enough people to keep track of on this tour. You want to say a quick hello and introduce this amazing band?
Do you want me to introduce you? Do you want to introduce yourselves? Oh, no. Well, whatever. Let's just move on. My name is Lucelena Mendoza Ramos. And this is Antonio from Fresno. This is, oh my gosh, I'm like Gordon from Chicago, Julia from Denver, Aya from Portland, Isabeau right over here from Portland, and also Margaret from Portland.
I love it. People from all over. And you sound so great. It's so fabulous to find here. This new record, which is out tomorrow, and you, Lucha, is that right? You look unsure.
No, sorry, I was like, tomorrow is the... I always have a look on my face like, being unsure.
Well, it is absolutely wonderful. And lucha in Spanish, I think, means struggle or fight. And I heard that that's also a nickname for you.
So lucha means to persevere, to fight, to yeah, just
Greetings.
to fight. And lucha, I mean, there's like a lot of names like, you know, Francisco is Pancho, Ignacio is Nacho, Pepe can be Jose,
day.
Che is Jose, I think, or Jesus. And lucha, I think a lot of the Lucias or Luz Helenas, Luz Maria, Luz whatever, is the nickname is Lucha Lucia. Lucha Villa is a famous mariachi singer who, sorry, that was my pedal, who was named, that's why she was named Lucha, because that was her little nickname. And I didn't know that. My friend, he found that out for me. So ever since then, I've been going by that name. So it's just like, you know, it's not that I was like, it's so symbolic to me. If I'm going to put something out or release something out to the world, it's because in the silence of my own path, I have like, you know, it just felt like a very strong conviction to just kind of release it together and give people the opportunity to get to know what lucha means, and also, you know, a little bit of both.
Well, you've said that lucha, this record, is a symbol for you to tackle healing, live life, and to be present. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, I think all my albums talk exactly about that. And I feel like the theme will never change. It just feels like it just keeps getting, you know, like we all pass levels in life in this way of like healing and learning. It sounds weird to say levels, but like, you know, we get through our own little moments and our own, you know, our obstacles, and we, you know, like the only difference is that one of the differences here is that I'm documenting it and having the whole, you know, world accessible, you know, they have access to like my growth sonically, mentally, you know, spiritually, you know, physically, you know, like it's having people having access to the way that I grow in the world is like it's pretty generous, you know? And like, I think that it just really hit me the last couple of years. I'm like, man, I'm just sitting here, I'm like playing music and writing and expressing myself, and like people are like listening, you know, or like, or in the, either if they like it or they don't or whatever, but it's like a very vulnerable process. Is just, you know, I feel like every record I'm always faced with this, like when I'm getting interviewed, so talk about your metamorphosis in your life and like all this stuff that's existential, etc. But this stuff is always happening, you know? It's just that we're living all collectively in like this new chapter in this reality, you know, obviously. So you can only imagine, like, I mean, I don't get to ask you that question right now, but I'm sure you got some answers for me, you know, about like that. But like, we all are all sharing this experience, and obviously based off of positionality, we all have different realities and stuff. But for me, I think it's very important to, just to wrap it up, I think it's really important to normalize being vulnerable, not to be like, oh my God, wow, she's crying, she was sensitive, wow, good for her. Like, we need to stop that, you know? I think it's like, we all need to do that, you know? And I hope that just me being by myself, if there's the next record, I'm sure if it's someone's gonna be like, talk to me about this, is just gonna be what I've learned from that point on to now, you know?
Well, I know it's difficult to have to talk about your record over and over, but I do read some of those interviews and you say, turn the question back on me. I mean, I feel good to know that you are on a similar journey. I mean, my life experience is different, and many things we have in common, but vulnerability is something that I'm challenged with, you know, to put yourself out there, to be kind to yourself and others. And I watch that journey for you as an artist, continuing to learn and grow, to help other people learn and grow, to speak your honesty, and to be more vulnerable and more kind to yourself. And I feel like I see that from album to album. And you're right, I do see similarities from record to record. And there is a growth there, obviously, because you are growing and learning. But I appreciate that, and the messages that you're brave enough to put out through your music. And you'll probably say, I don't know any other way to do it.
Yeah, and I feel like even when we talk about it, I often I'm surprised. I don't know how to say this. Like, I get surprised of how often I feel lonely when I say, yeah, totally, I'm being vulnerable, X, Y, and Z, you know, blah, blah, blah. and how like it's just how when I get celebrated, like oh you're being vulnerable, awesome, normalize that, that's so cool. But it's that in a way makes me feel lonely, not in a negative way, but just like how like wow, like I'm being celebrated and like and embraced for doing this thing that we should all just be doing, you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but why is it so hard?
Oh, we know why it's so hard. That's a whole other episode.
I mean, imagine if we all could just speak the truth and be vulnerable with one another. I know that when I have a real connection with someone and I'm speaking my truth and being honest and saying things I'm afraid to say, I mean, I feel so good. I feel that connection, and I wonder why I can't do that all the time.
Oh, I know. Well, I don't want to speak for you. I don't want to speak for you, but I have my own ideas. I think being a 41-year-old, from 1982, being a cusper in a generation, coming from a generation without internet, things, being not deconstructed the way that we have an opportunity to deconstruct now, things that went on way unchecked. I mean, if we, like there's a lot of healing, a lot of reckoning with a new self, a new part of your brain, a new part of allowing yourself to really, when you watch those videos and you're like, you got to allow new thoughts and new positive, like it makes sense, it totally makes sense. But like we have to do it collectively as a community. It's really hard for so-and-so to be in a corner and be like, yeah, I'm doing this work alone. But if we're not normalizing all the shit that needs to be normalized in the first place, like chances are that we can really be helping everybody around. And not just like, applaud the person that's crying. You know what I'm saying? Like we all kind of, just,
yeah,
work on it a little bit.
A little kindness, a little understanding, a little compassion. Yeah. Well, this new album, Lucha, is so, so beautiful. And you are heading out on a tour with this wonderful band. And we're so happy to have you in Seattle. I'm sure you know how much Seattle loves you. And always happy when Ila Bamba comes through.
Thank you. I want to cry.
Well, thank you so much, and we wish you all so well on your tour, and already I can't wait to see you again live. We've got Ila Bamba here in the KEXP studios. So appreciate this new record. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you to all of our wonderful listeners and viewers. You make sessions like this possible. Learn more about us or make a donation anytime at kexp.org. Thank you again so much to all of you. It's Ila Bamba live on KEXP Seattle.
Good day. Stay a while and listen.